what really is the problem with such a compassionate piece of legislation? What is the problem with it? Why raise the specter of Muslim alienation, etc., etc.? In your own state, the Matuas are celebrating. I have visuals of them celebrating. Should you not care for your own citizens in Bengal, Bengalis?
First of all, if there were no problems, why did this government take over 4 years to implement the law? The government with such brute majority. So the fact remains that the government took such a long period of time. They also recognized that there were problems. Coming back to the Matuas in Bengal, none of them are to be applying for this law because they are already citizens of this country. The Bengal government has already ensured that they are citizens of this country. Coming back to the other problems that you are in fact putting, if I go by the long preface that you had in the beginning, with the same logic, even these other communities can also apply for citizenship if they live here for 12 years. So then why do you exclude only a particular community? That is the Muslim community. Point number 2, why did you exclude other neighbors of ours, like you mentioned, Sri Lanka, Nepal and Bhutan? You have persecuted people in Sri Lanka, Nepal also. Why did you exclude them? Because there is a political purpose behind this law. And point number 2, if there were no problems, why the most affected state was Assam, where you were ruling? Why so many people are still in the detention camp of Assam? And majority of them are actually Hindus. If this is not linked to NRC, and you were talking about, rightly so, NRC is now implemented in Assam. But who guarantees that if these people can come to power again after the election, they will implement the NRC everywhere in the country. And that will affect not just a particular community, but all of us. People without a document, flood affected, storm affected, cyclone affected, they will all be overnight called
Now,
the
let's
deep
open this
voter
up. We've heard
Professor
Mandal. He's given an expansive reason as to why he opposes it, but also contradicts himself. He says that, even Hindus are languishing. If Hindus are languishing, then obviously the CA is not anti-Muslim. In fact, it's anti-no one, except it's only pro-humanity. I mean, you contradicted yourself. Anyhow, it doesn't matter.
I did not say it's
this is the problem.
It is anti-humanity.
I want to ask you, Professor Manojit Mandal, simple question.
Yes.
Forget about Hindu-Muslim. Just a very simple yes or no answer. Do you believe that Bangladeshi Hindus who have crossed the border and continue to cross the border are not victims of Islamist persecution, and should they not get citizenship on a priority? Simple question, sir.
No, who is saying that they should not get?
Okay.
Of course they should get.
So viewers,
of course,
if they are getting it under CAA,
demarcate them on the basis of religion, and you cannot exclude other countries also. Many people are crossing the border from Sri Lanka and Nepal.
Yes. Yes.
Why are they excluding them?
Yes, let me get in Dr. Ranganathan perhaps to logically break this down and explain it to you. He's written extensively on this issue. Dr. Ranganathan, you see, the complaint always comes back. Bring them all from Pakistan, Bangladesh. What's the big deal? Then why have Pakistan and Bangladesh? What is this separate homeland for Muslims? They may as well all come here.
To my fellow panelists, it's a historic day. In no small measure, my congratulations to Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Narendra Modi and everyone in the government, and my congratulations to every Hindu in India and every Hindu persecuted or otherwise in the Islamic republics that are concerned with the CAA. It's a great day. Again, I mean, it's really incredible. And the fact of the matter is, if you remember, Rahul, let me quote someone now. We will either have a divided India or a destroyed India. Who said this? Jinnah. He screamed this, and he managed the former. And let me say this in no uncertain terms. Those who oppose the CAA are intent upon managing the latter. The CAA is morally just because, let me give you a few reasons. Number one, these border countries are Islamic republics, and therefore Muslims are not in the minority. CAA is about India granting citizenship to those who are persecuted because they are not followers of the majority religion of Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Number two, it is a fact, is it not, that India was divided on the basis of religion. Muslims could choose a home and 75 million did. Good luck to them. They chose Pakistan, a nation created for Muslims. But India wasn't created for Hindus. Post-partition in 1951, Muslim population share in India was 9%. Today it is 16%. Some say it might even be 20%. And what of the Hindus in West Pakistan? They were 16% in 1948, then 1.6% in 1951, and today they are just 1.5%. And Hindus in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, they were 23% in 1951, 15% in 1974, and today they are a measly 8%. So in India, minority population share has grown, while minority population share in Pakistan and Bangladesh has decreased, dwindled, with millions persecuted, converted, killed. Where would the Indic people and Christians go? Number three, my only limited disagreement with the bill is, or the act, is that atheists, apostates and heretics, all condemned in Islam and therefore in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, should also have been included. It doesn't make sense to include all persecuted Muslims and Muslim majority nations. Should we now open our doors to 200 million Shia Muslims persecuted by Sunni Muslims all around the world? It doesn't make sense. Number four, CAA is about granting citizenship, not asylum, as India already grants asylum to lakhs of Muslims, including the Rohingyas and the Afghans. Number five, those calling this bill Islamophobic ignore the simple fact that 500,000 or more ethno-religiously cleansed Sri Lankan Tamil Hindus currently settled in India are also excluded. Number six, those outraging were completely silent for 70 years when lakhs of Hindu refugees from what was then West Pakistan ran for their lives and settled in Kashmir but were denied jobs, dignity, basic human rights because of Article 370. But that was of no concern because they were Hindus. Number seven, the CPIM and the Congress in 2012, Rahul, and 2015 demanded citizenship be granted to Bangladeshi minorities, i.e. specifically non-Muslims. But because BJP granted it, they are up in arms. Finally, another crucial point that most people don't realize is that the CAA is an amnesty that commenced on December 31st, 2019 after the 5-year cooling off clause. Only after this amnesty would come the nationwide NPR and then finally the NRC. This means that the purpose of CAA amnesty would be fulfilled long before the nationwide NRC commences. Because the CAA amnesty became operational on December 31st, 2019, one would expect that all eligible non-Muslim refugees would have already applied for the amnesty still. Just 30 seconds. As I had suggested 2 years ago, a Muslim Indian without documents cannot. But a non-Muslim Indian without documents can still commit perjury and ask for CA amnesty, as the latter is applicable till perpetuity. Therefore, in order for both non-Muslim and Muslim Indians to be in the same boat during the NRC, the amnesty part of the CAA should either be repealed or a deadline set for it before the commencement of a nationwide NRC. No one should then have any issue with the NRC. And finally, a word of unsolicited advice to this government. Please don't succumb to anarchists and Islamists again. Your knee must be bruised. You've taken it so often.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the dadis are already assembling. We don't know. We hope not. Let's hope that over the last 4 years, better senses prevail. People have learned a little bit more, read up a little bit more, and not read up the kind of literature that was being circulated by a certain stripe of Indian analysts.